Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
And uncensored commentary here on the Lone Star Community Radio. I'm your host, douglasb, and you can listen to new live shows the first Tuesday of every month on veteransair.us or on Conroe's FM 106.1 and 104.5. You also can check us out on Facebook Live, YouTube, and wherever you get your fine podcasts. Today's show is entitled Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness. We're going to talk about that today. As always, a little housekeeping before we get started. You can contact Veterans Air through our website at www.veteransair.us. You can leave us a message, or better yet, you can contact us in the studio on our Google phone, 936-344-3083, and text me when I'm live. Don't call me, text me. So, today is June 2nd. My phone is blowing up today, Dick. Everybody wants me. Today is June 2nd. July 4th is right around the corner. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Independence Day. That's 250 years ago. A group of tyrants and traitors were meeting in the back rooms of bars. And these tyrants and traitors, they decided that they were going to send a letter to their sovereign, King George III of England, because they were upset about the 13 colonies being taxed and other things that the crown was doing to them. So they sent a strongly worded letter addressing their grievances. And we know these tyrants and traitors today as our founding fathers. In that missive, we now know that as the Declaration of Independence. Today, we celebrate those men and this declaration because on the July 4th will be this country's 250th anniversary of its birth. 250 years. That's 2.5 centuries. Now, there's a lot of countries that are older than us, but there's no country that's better. These founding fathers, the ones that we call our founding fathers, they were a group of political leaders and statesmen who led the American Revolution against Great Britain and established the United States of America. They drafted this Declaration of Independence. They framed the U.S. Constitution. And they shaped the foundational government that we have today. There were 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, 56. And they represented all 13 colonies at the time. Now, historians generally highlight 7 of the principal figures as the core architects of this great nation. Let's look at each one of those. George Washington, often called the father of his country, he was the commander of the Continental Army and the first United States president. He ensured a new nation became a republic rather than a monarchy, by voluntarily stepping down after 2 terms in office. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, the 3rd U.S. president. He was also responsible for the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which doubled the size of the United States. John Adams. John Adams is a brilliant lawyer who passionately argued for American independence. He served as the first vice president and the second president of the United States. James Madison, known as the father of the Constitution for his pivotal role in drafting the document. He also authored the Bill of Rights and later served as the 4th U.S. president. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin is a renowned inventor, diplomat, and a political philosopher. He also was a player. If you didn't know that, Ben was a player. He established the national financial system, created the first national bank. Oh, sorry, wrong one. He secured the vital French allegiance during the Revolutionary War and helped draft both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. That's why he's on the money. Alexander Hamilton, the first U.S. Secretary of the Treasury. He established the national financial system, created the first national bank, and was primary author of the Federalist Papers, which argued for the Constitution's ratification. John Jay. He's a signer of the Treaty of Paris and the first Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. John Jay. He co-authored the Federalist Papers and later served as the governor of New York. Now, these are the 7 principal or historical figures most associated with the Declaration of Independence. But there are other notable figures in history that we also consider our founding fathers, including Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry, he's famously quoted as saying, "Give me liberty or give me death." Passionate. Samuel Adams made great beer. John Hancock, the first to sign the Declaration of Independence. And George Mason. These are our founding fathers. But before they became our founding fathers, don't forget, to King George and the English crown, they were tyrants and traitors. The Declaration of Independence announced that the 13 American colonies were separating from Great Britain to become independent states. And it explained why they were doing this in three main parts. Statement of Human Rights. It is famously declared all men are created equal and possess unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It asserted that governments exist only to protect those rights and derive their power from the consent of the governed. Let me read that again. It asserts that governments exist only to protect these rights and derive their powers from the consent of the governed. The government has no power except that of which we give it. It listed the grievances. It outlined specific abuses by King George III, including taxation without representation, cutting off trade, and stationing standing armies among the colonists. We have some of that happening today. Do you believe that what you're being taxed on, you're being represented for? Because I do not. It declared the separation. It concluded with the formal separation, stating that the colonies were absolved from all allegiances to the British Crown and had the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, and establish commerce. The Declaration of Independence, ratified or presented in Congress July 4th, 250 years ago. This is what we're celebrating next month, that Declaration of Independence. The piece of paper that we sent, the missive that we sent to King George III saying, we're no longer British colonists, we're Americans. Now, to get a good feel for why July 4th and the Declaration are so important, let me read you a brief excerpt from it. This is from the Declaration of Independence. Let me do my radio voice for this. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to another, and to assume among powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separate. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them seem the most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed in light of transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms by which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invaluable to the object, invices a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such governments and provide new guards for the future and security. These framers of our Declaration of Independence, for all the good and the bad that goes along with them, they were pretty wise, and they thought deeply about how to declare their independence from England and why they were doing it. This is something that we should be teaching our children today. We should be teaching them about how this government came about. I want to take a few moments today to talk about an event and why this event that's coming up is so important. Now, this information you can find on VFW 4709's website, and it provides a brief overview, but it doesn't tell the whole story. To understand this event and why it's so special, I need to share some background with you. This event is going to happen on July 4th at 2:50 p.m. at the VFW Hall here in Conroe. You know the building with the big helicopter? Yeah, that's us. When I learned that our city was not planning any celebration for Independence Day during America's 250th anniversary year, I simply could not stand by and let that happen. As a veteran, as a patriot, as a community leader, I felt that this historic milestone deserved to be recognized. It's America's 250th anniversary. It's the 250th birthday of our country. It's never going to come again. We should celebrate this. We should commemorate this. In addition to my involvement with the VFW, American Legion, and DAV, I also operate a nonprofit called Dragon 6 Inc. Dragon 6 Designs, we sell t-shirts, and Veterans Air, U.S. I knew that if our community was going to celebrate America's 250th birthday, somebody needed to step forward and make this happen. I used thick paper today to type this out. Recognizing that this event and the scope that I envisioned, the project was too large for one person. I brought the idea before the membership of the VFW 4709 for help. While the members supported the concept, there were understandably concerns about the cost. My response was simple. Texas is full of patriots. Rather than asking for donations for this event, we would build the event through sponsorships. To demonstrate my commitment, knowing that it can be done, Dragon 6 pledged to cover any expenses not met through raised sponsorships. Then I approached the American Legion Post 411 with the very same idea. As you may know, the VFW and the American Legion rarely collaborate on events, especially of this scale, because both organizations often compete for community involvement, volunteers, financial support. This event changes all that. Both organizations, along with their respective auxiliaries, have set aside differences to work together to create something truly special for this community. Conroe and the surrounding areas, I invite you and your families to America's 250th anniversary celebration on July 4th at 2:50 p.m. at the VFW Hall, 1303 West Siemens Avenue here in Conroe. Flyers to the right or to the left. Check it out. It is a free community event. The event will start at 2:50 p.m. because what better way to celebrate America's 250th than at 2:50, right? The event will begin with the dedication and planting of a Liberty tree, creating a lasting symbol of freedom and patriotism. And both organizations and their auxiliaries will care for this tree. We have invited local elected officials, including the mayor and other community leaders, to participate and offer remarks if they so choose. Following this opening ceremony, which I'm going to keep as brief as possible, guests will move indoors for the remainder of the festivities in air-conditioned comfort. If you venture outside, attendees will find Fry Daddy's food truck, fire trucks and apparatus, police vehicles, and the K-Star Radio Prize Wagon will be on station throughout the event. Inside the hall, we will feature live music from the band Side Hustle, who will be performing hits from the 1970s through the 2000s. Guests will enjoy free hot dogs, popcorn, and Pepsi products throughout the event. Free. And we have some things to do, some things to keep you interested. For children 12 and under, we have an inflatable tomahawk throw competition. It's like a bouncy house, but with inflatable tomahawks that you throw at a target. It's competition, and the grand prize is a new hoverboard. Hoverboard, people. Adults can participate in our cornhole competition, where the grand prize will be an official competition-grade cornhole set, patriotic cornhole set. Other activities, we're going to have a silent auction. And here's some things that are featured in the silent auction. A recumbent tricycle, wireless headphones, binoculars, guitars, craft products from Dragon 6 Designs, from Unique Gift Texas. Bunch of silent auction stuff. The auxiliaries have put together a slew of children games. And their little prizes will be handed out to all the kiddies. There's going to be free cotton candy. Yes, because I believe in getting your children all hyped up on sugar and then sending them home. That's my job. We've reserved a portion of Candy Cane Park for the pavilion and the playground. The fire department, thank you, Lloyd, and you wonderful people over at the fire department, because not only are they providing 2 trucks, on vehicle and their old-time truck, they're also putting up a misting tent to ensure that nobody overheats if they happen to be outside. We have Uncle Sam in costume roaming around. You can take your photograph with Uncle Sam. You can get his autograph. We have Connie McNabb, who donated the tricycle, by the way, and you can go check it out on VFW 4709's Facebook page. She'll also be on hand taking pictures, taking photos. As I said, the band will be playing from 3 to 6. They're going to take a break in the middle, and during that break, the commanders of the VFW Post 4709 and American Legion Post 411 will recognize sponsors and special contributors who helped to make this event possible. Sponsors and honored guests will receive commemorative gifts, including a canvas reproduction of the Declaration of Independence. Yes, July 4th. Now, I have to say this. And Mayor of Conroe, I hope you're listening. I sent you a personal invitation. You haven't gotten back to me whether or not you're going to come. But for a small town boy like me, the 4th of July is kids running through a sprinkler with a hot dog in one hand, a sparkler in the other, and a speech from a small town mayor. To me, that's the 4th of July. We unfortunately, our idea of the sparklers were nixed. City said, nope, can't do that. So, Shayna, who's on the events committee, said, I got this, Doug. Don't you worry about it. I can figure this out. She went out and she found red, white, and blue glow stick necklaces, sunglasses, headbands, a whole slew of red, white, and blue glow stick type prizes to give out to the kids. I didn't even know they made such a thing. So, we're going to have kids running through the misting tent with a hot dog in one hand and a glow stick in the other. Mayor, I challenge you to show up and give some remarks to your people. Your people. What does that mean? That means that this is a free, community-wide event. You don't need to be a veteran. You don't need to be a member of any of the organizations. All you need to do is show up. VFW and the American Legion is putting this on for you, Conroe. For you. We want you there. We want you to have a good time. We want you to celebrate the birth of this nation. Because ain't nothing else happening in the city. And the fireworks down at the waterway or up at the lake, they're not going to start until 9:30ish. So come on out. Get a free hot dog. If you want something other than a hot dog, like I said, outside we have Fry Daddy's Food Truck. Look them up. They got a Facebook page, Fry Daddy's Food Truck. Go get some nachos or some catfish or whatever your little heart desires, and then come back inside into the air-conditioned cooling. I got this question when I'm promoting this, so I'm going to let you know our canteen will be open to the public. Let me say that again. If you show up and you're over 21, you can come to the canteen and get an ice-cold beer. However, current Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission regulations require non-members of the Post to purchase a $3 temporary membership valid for 3 days. So if you want to go in the canteen and get a cold beer, you're going to have to pay $3, show your ID card, show your driver's license, and you're going to get a little wristband. and it's good for 3 days. I am exploring possible accommodations with the TABC for this special event, though I remain realistic about the likelihood of an exemption. Every day, this event grows as more individuals, businesses, and organizations learn about it and want to participate. While sponsorships are more challenging to secure than in previous years due to the economic uncertainty, the enthusiasm and community support we are seeing has been tremendous. Let me talk a little bit about sponsorships and donations. Donations is when you say, here's some money. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. A sponsorship is not that. You are sponsoring this event. And we have a number of different levels, $5,000, $1,500, $1,000. And if you're going to spend that type of money to sponsor this event, well, then you should get something for it, right? I totally agree. So here's what we worked out. If you're a $5,000 sponsor, and there's only 2 of them available, you're going to get 50 30-second commercials on K-Star running from June 21st through July 4th. The event will be rebranded to be whatever your organization is or company is, presents America's 250th anniversary celebration. Your company gets headline. And that headline becomes important because not only are you getting 50 30-second commercials, but you're getting your logo on the Montgomery County War Memorial's billboard, who has graciously donated that billboard to be used to advertise the event. You're going to be on every piece of paper that we print out. It'll be branded for your company. We currently have 50 of the large handbills, whether they're 11 by 17, 17 by 24, however big they are, to be passed out around the area to put in store windows and whatnot. Your logo and contact information will be there. You're going to get your banner on the VFW, the American Legion, and Veterans Affairs websites, and a whole slew of other things. If you do a $1,500 donation, and I think we have 1,500 sponsorship, and I think we have 2 of those available. We've already sold a couple of them, but you're getting similar exposure advertising-wise. I don't remember what they are at the top of my head. Same way with $1,000. Now, do you want to be a friend of the Post? Sponsor at the 250 level. Because when we print up the T-shirts for the event, yes, we're even having T-shirts for the event. On the back side of that T-shirt will be your logo. And, of course, your logo on the websites. Sponsorship is different than a donation. A donation is, I'm giving you money. Go ahead, use it the way you think you should. Dick, you're giving me a donation, right? Dick said he's going to give me a $10,000 donation. Well, he's having a heart attack right now, but that's what I heard. Donation is just that. You're giving me money, and we can spend that money. Thank you so much. A sponsorship, however, is you're buying something from the Post, and that money is used only for this event. You're sponsoring this event only. You're not sponsoring the VFW, you're not sponsoring the American Legion, you're not sponsoring veterans, you're sponsoring this event, which is a community-wide free event. We believe this celebration that we're putting together, this 250th anniversary celebration, is one of the most meaningful community events of the year. And it's a fitting tribute to America's 250th anniversary. If we do this right, Conroe, Montgomery, Willis, Woodlands, the rest of y'all, if we do this right, and the public shows up, this will become the signature event every Independence Day. But in order to make this our signature event every Independence Day, we need your involvement. We need you to show up. You're going to have a good time. You're going to get some stuff. More importantly, the kiddies are going to get some stuff, and they're going to be out of your hair. Do you want your business featured on the air? Contact me before June 10th. June 10th is the cutoff, at events@vfw4709.org, and we'll make it happen. Why is the cutoff at June 10th? Well, I have only 10 days to create the t-shirts, the handbills, and all the radio announcements. So I need time to do that if I'm going to get them on the air by the 21st. Now, as I do all the time in each show, I have to give a shout out to my sponsor, East Meets West Productions. Can't say enough good things about East Meets West Productions because they actually pay me while I'm sitting here talking with you. Let me give a shout out to our show sponsor before I forget. Veterans Air is made possible by the support of East Meets West Productions, a full-service business and marketing consulting firm helping vets start and fund their businesses for over 32 years. For more information, call 361-904-0044 and make sure you tell them that Veterans Air sent you over. Wow. See, I told you I was going to be. You should have told me to speak slower. So, I guess that about wraps it up for today. We'll do our ending. I hope you come out to the VFW on July 4th for America's 250th anniversary celebration. If you can't sponsor and you just want to show up, absolutely, you are welcome. Everybody is welcome. A community-wide free event. If you feel so moved and would like to volunteer, I need people. I need people to help set up the hall. I need people to help tear down. I need people to help with directing traffic. So please contact events@vfw4709.org and let's see how you can help the rest of Conroe. That ends the show for today, and you'll want to tune in July 7th at 1 p.m., and I'll fill you in on all the things you missed if you don't make it out to America's 250th anniversary celebration. I want to leave you with this song by our friend Jerry Saylor. Sailor Jerry. I'm sorry, Jerry. I want to leave you with this song by our friend Sailor Jerry. You can go download it from Veterans Air or on iTunes. And while we're listening to it, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that today are standing in harm's way to stand for our freedoms and our liberties. If you are wearing the uniform, I want to say to you, I thank you. I want to say, I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to ya. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground, and gunfire was the only sound. And to yourself you whispered hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every day and every night, you walk the walk, you fight the fight. You never saw the end in sight, now did ya? The days are washing ahead. you hear a shot, you know you're in a deadly spot. You never thought the day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground, the enemy is all around, and from your lips you scream a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You fought the fight till it was done. You have the strength to carry on. You thought it'd be much better back home, did ya? You try each day, keep pushing through, but the battle lives inside of you. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your